Welcome back to the cryptoworld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, Bitcoin has just confirmed this bullish cross in the 4-hour Bitcoin MACD, but in the short term, we're now running into this critical area of resistance that we need to pay attention to, while this bearish divergence on the 12-hour time frame is technically still playing out. So I'll be talking about all of that and more later in the video, so definitely watch to the end. First of all, starting off on the weekly Bitcoin chart, and right now the price of Bitcoin is still playing out this major bull market signal on the larger time frames, and this signal usually plays out at least over a number of months, but usually up to around a year or so from when the signal actually confirmed, and this signal only just confirmed around 2 months ago, which means we're still technically due to see a major bull market for at least a number of months, most likely well into 2025. But as I always say, during these larger bull markets, we can see short-term dumps or short-term pullbacks or short-term sideways consolidations here and there along the way up during the larger bull market. So keep that in mind. On small time frames, that can flip between bullish and bearish pretty much every day, but zooming out, looking at the bigger picture, we are clearly within a larger bull market. And this weekly Bitcoin chart says the exact same thing as well, still playing out a major bull run on the larger time frames, showing a lot of bullish momentum in the weekly Bitcoin MACD. And looking at the 4-day time frame, the super trend indicator is still sitting in the green, indicating a larger bullish market. But with that being said, if we're taking a look at this weekly Bitcoin chart, of course, we still have the 1618 Fibonacci extension, which is sitting at approximately 102,000. So as I've said recently here on the channel, expect a lot of resistance at around 100k to 102k, especially that 100k level, considering that is a strong psychological level of resistance because so many people are looking at 100k per Bitcoin. So expect resistance around there. But if we're taking a look at this 3-day time frame, of course, over the last 1 day, we've struggled to reclaim this Fibonacci level, which is sitting at around 94 to 95,000. So just in the short term, that could be acting as a bit of short-term resistance. But if we're taking a look at this 3-day time frame, we have this previous Fibonacci extension now acting as new support, and that's sitting at around 89,000 approximately. So if we were to see a continued pullback in the short term, expect support at around 89,000, give or take. And as for further resistance to the upside, once we can finally see a confirmed breakout above around 100,000 to 102,000, once we break out above that area on the chart, then I'd be looking towards around 113,000 as the next major price target and point of resistance. But obviously between now and then, we still need to break out above 100k. And if we're taking a look at this 12-hour time frame, as I've been saying recently here on the channel, the price of Bitcoin is playing out very similar price action at the moment compared to what we saw pretty much exactly 4 years ago, around November, December 2020. Because back then we were indeed in a bull market. We were entering into a major bull market and already started playing out that bull market prior to this movement, just like what we're seeing at the moment. We've already entered into this bull market and we're still due to see a continued bull market after. But for the time being, just in the somewhat short term, maybe for a few days, even up to a couple of weeks potentially, it's likely we're going to just chop around sideways, play out a bit of a sideways consolidation, maybe even a slight pullback once again for maybe around a week or two, because that's very similar to what we saw last time around 4 years ago. And this happened as a bearish divergence played out on the 12-hour time frame, exactly like what's happening right now. A bearish divergence currently playing out, which basically means we're due to see not as much bullish momentum for at least a few days, maybe around a week or two. And now a bearish divergence does not mean we're going to crash all the way back down. It just means don't expect a lot of bullish momentum. So that can just be some choppy sideways price action, maybe a little bit more of a pullback. That sort of thing is what I'm expecting maybe for around a week or two. But while the price of Bitcoin is chopping around sideways or even playing out a slight pullback here, in the meantime, that is helping to reset the price oscillators like the RSI, for example, resetting to the downside, giving us more room to the upside later on. And that also helps to reset funding rates and things like that, bringing them back down towards more neutral levels, which can give us more room to the upside later on. So ultimately, we're just gearing up, getting ready for that next major breakout beyond $100,000, which is very similar to what we saw last time around 4 years ago, except back then we were looking at $20,000 rather than $100,000. So like I've been saying, just be patient in the short term. It's very normal to see these little breaks during the larger bull markets. So be patient in the short term while we're getting ready for that next major breakout. But with that being said, if you want to get prepared, get set up, ready to go in order to take the next major trading opportunity, personally, I take most of my trades over on Bybit. So I'll make sure to leave a link to Bybit down below this video in the description and in the pinned comment. And if you use that link below this video to make your Bybit account and deposit on that account, then you can get up to a $30,000 deposit bonus, but only if you use that link down below this video. And also, if you use that link, it'll take you to this page right here, which is a 500 USDT position airdrop. So basically a free $500 trade as your first trade over on Bybit, but that's only available if you use the link below this video to make your Bybit account and deposit on that account. But for whatever reason, if you cannot access Bybit or if you cannot KYC on Bybit, there's also Bitfinex, which is another crypto exchange similar to Bybit, but you don't need KYC for Bitfinex, which means if you're in the US or the UK, for example, or another country where you might not be able to access Bybit, you can access Bitfinex. So I'll also leave a link to Bitfinex below this video. And if you use that link to make your account, you can get up to a 5.5K deposit bonus. And only if you use that link, you can get an exclusive 10% discount on all trading fees on the Bitfinex exchange forever. But that's only available if you use the link below this video to make your Bitfinex account. So as another option out there, other than Bybit, one that you can access from the US and other countries like that, once again, there's Bitfinex, links down below if you want to claim those extra bonuses. But with that being said, taking a look at the short-term Bitcoin price charts on the 4-hour time frame right now, we are continuing the perfect bounce from this area of support based on the volume profile indicator, also known as the VPVR indicator. And this area of support is sitting in between around 91,000 to 92,000. And so if, for example, we see another little pullback here in the short term, expect a lot of support in that region right there. But if we were to see a breakback below around 91 to 92K, in that case, we also have a bit of support at around 89,500 and some more support at around 88,000. But as I said a few days ago now on the channel, if the price of Bitcoin were to break back below around 86,500 to 87,000, if we broke below that level on the chart, then in the short term, that would be bad news, likely sending the price down towards around, for example, $79,000 is the next area of traded volume in this indicator. And so like I said a couple of days ago, once again, when I was looking at this chart right here, it is important for the Bitcoin bulls to hold above around 87,000 ideally in order to avoid a potential drop back into the 70K range. So that is a critical level of support on the price chart. But for now, between the current price and that critical level, we also have this major area of support once again in between 91 to 92,000. And as for short-term resistance, we also have this area of traded volume above the current price that is acting as strong resistance here in the short term, and that's sitting in between around 97.2K to around 98,500. So pretty much in between around 97 to 98K approximately, we have a lot of short-term resistance in that region based on this VPVR indicator. And if we're staying on the 4-hour time frame, taking a look at the 4-hour Bitcoin MACD, technically speaking, over the last one day, we've now actually confirmed the bullish cross in this indicator, which if we're looking at the last couple of times this has happened, this obviously has been a bullish signal for the price of Bitcoin. Over the next couple of days or so, we have seen a continued bullish move in the price after confirming this bullish cross. But what we're seeing this time around is, of course, the bullish cross, but we're already starting to lose a bit of bullish momentum this time around, which is a lot faster than these other times. Obviously, these other times, we saw those bullish movements for a couple of days before we started to lose bullish momentum. Whereas this time around, it's barely been a day worth of bullish price action before we're already now starting to lose some bullish momentum. So keep that in mind. We don't really have a lot of momentum just in the short term, and that's most likely due to the fact that right now we do have this bearish divergence, which is technically still playing out on the 12-hour time frame, meaning we should not be expecting a lot of bullish momentum, at least in the short term. And so there's a good chance that maybe for the next few days, the price will likely just bounce around between this area of support and this area of resistance. But with that being said, taking a look at the 2-hour Bitcoin chart, and obviously a couple of days ago now on the channel, I already talked about this bullish divergence, which already confirmed 2 days ago. But like I warned about in my last video, I would not necessarily rely on this bullish divergence for too much longer. So it perfectly played out as expected, but then right around here, as I said yesterday, today, this is already starting to lose relevance. And that's simply due to the fact that a bullish divergence on the 2-hour time frame, these very small time frames, they don't play out very long before they lose relevance because they're only on the small time frames here. So obviously something on the 12-hour chart, for example, will play out over a longer period of time compared to on the 2-hour chart. And so at this stage, this has pretty much already played its part. It's already played out. So I would not rely on this bullish divergence any longer from this point right here. And once again, we are already playing out a bit of a sideways price range in between this area of support and this area of resistance, as that bearish divergence on the 12-hour time frame is telling us we are lacking momentum in the short term. But remember, as I always say in the beginning of these videos, no matter what happens in the short term, when we're zooming out, looking at the bigger picture, things are looking very, very bullish. We're currently in a larger bull market. It's just in the short term for a period of days or weeks, potentially, we're taking a bit of a break during that larger bull market, getting ready for that next major breakout. And with that being said, if we're taking a look at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, we have a major level of liquidity that's sitting at approximately $100,000. So once we can finally see a confirmed breakout above 100K, that will likely trigger a major short squeeze, sending the price much, much higher. But until then, we also have a little bit of liquidity to the downside, sitting at approximately 90,000 to 90,500, and some more liquidity closer towards around 88,000 as well. But with that being said, if you want to trade these moves in the price of any crypto, once again, check out those links down below this video to claim those extra bonuses. And if you want to actually know how to trade crypto, no matter if the price is bullish, bearish, or chopping around sideways, then make sure to watch these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how you can profit from bullish or bearish price action using long positions or short positions, and the video in the bottom left shows you how you can easily profit from choppy sideways price action. But anyway, that is everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.